let's ride. Unified leadership. Light the flame, turn it up loud, remember the name. Unified leadership. Power and pride, we don't just talk, we testify. Unified leadership. Hard and grind, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, croppers and rhythm, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, crowd on sway. Culture clay, truth and play. Sifu Rafael, calm control, leaders in sync. Hearts of gold, focus sharp, the mission clear. Every step forward, silence the fear. Discipline, dripping, confidence, how we move together, we amplify. Who we are, unified. What we lead, unified. Stand tall, unified. Every time, unified leadership. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new. Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive. Unified leadership.
Good morning, good morning. What an incredible day. Hopefully Coach Theo will be joining us shortly. I got to tell you, we have an exceptional guest with us today. And let's not waste any time. Let's bring him on. Christopher Wesley. Good morning. I'm going to call you Chris because I think that's what we call you, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
How are you this fine morning?
I'm doing well. How about you? It's good to be here.
I'm exceptional, getting better every day. But I got to tell you, you're doing well, but you're 3 hours behind us a little bit because you are 5 a.m. right now.
Yeah,
5:30, right? You're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. Appreciate you getting up a little extra early for today.
Yep.
And I love the fact of what we're talking about today, and you're exemplifying that because it's the leadership of daily habits.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that, man. That's pretty cool.
You know, our lives are built by the things that we do on a daily basis. And they're usually referred to as habits. I kind of prefer the term rituals because, you know, habit is what you do, but when you ritualize something, then there's meaning behind it. So when I get up and one piece of the morning ritual is meditation. It's not just meditating. It's purposefully calming my mind, giving my brain some space to maneuver for the different things that I'm going to be doing throughout the day. Exercise, hydration, like all these things hold deeper meaning than just the simple act itself. And that helps the habit or ritual actually stick a whole lot better. So I think that is how you build a life with intention.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you consider meditation an aspect of becoming, right, every morning. For me, it's, I wake up and the first thing I do is, I'm going to say prayer, because to me, prayer is meditation.
Yeah.
But I also do meditate. And then in gratitude as well. So I don't just pray just to pray. I pray for in gratitude, for the gifts I've been given, for the family that I have, for you, for the fact that you woke up this morning to be here with us, right? So I pray for every little thing that I'm able to do, for the breath that I have, for all the little things that are going to impact my life. So Theo said he's having technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll be with us shortly. And if we can do that every day and realize that we've been given this gift of another day, I think that's a beautiful thing. And how long do you meditate for?
Typically for 23 minutes. In the past year, my wife and I took a transcendental meditation course. And for that, it's a 20-minute meditation with the mantra and then an additional 3 minutes to come slowly out of that. So, and it's progressed. I mean, when I first took up meditation, I had people around me, like the people that got me into it, they were meditating for like 2 hours a day. And I think it's an important thing to note that for me to get into it, for me to make it a habit or ritual, I had to start with 1 minute a day. While everyone around me was doing these really impressive numbers, I was doing 60 seconds, and that lasted for at least 4 months before it started, before I found time in my day and figured out how to stretch it a little bit longer than like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then it grew from there. I never got to 2 hours though.
Mm. There's some great ideas on the concept of meditating for that long. And then there's also the takeaway that if you're giving up 2 hours of living, what are you doing?
Mm.
And so there's a thought, right? But
Yeah.
for me, I accumulate my meditation because I do it throughout my day. And
Mm.
the way I do it is when I'm doing an activity, if I look at the activity, that and I'm in harmony with it, maybe I'm cleaning something, maybe I'm building something. That to me is meditation because I'm focused on what I'm doing. And so many times it's so important for all of us to consider that meditation is where you're at and if you're in the moment, right?
Yes.
A lot of people think that you have to sit in a lotus position and and but because I teach meditation. So there's a deeper level of meditation. And to me, true meditation is being in the moment, being active in the stages of life that you're living. So for somebody to just sit for 2 hours or 10 hours, because I've known people who've done that.
Yeah.
The question that I even ask is, are you living? Because the way I meditate, I am living. I am doing, right? Because I have a wood shop, when I'm building something, it's not about all the music that can be blasting. It's about me handling the piece of wood so it can transform into something of beauty, something that was planned. And for me, that is a great idea. Good morning, Emilio. How are you? So, how do you meditate? And you said 23 minutes, and I said that's very specific, right? But do you meditate more like what I just said without realizing you're doing
There are times uh, where I meditate outside of transcendental meditation. Like you said, throughout the day, when I need to do like calm myself to either get through an activity or to just settle myself because something happened and I need to like ramp down the stress. Um, in those cases, it's not the transcendental meditation. Those are mindfulness meditations. So yeah, throughout the day, right now I'm also taking up a practice of like days I'm not lifting weights or doing any longer workouts. I'll just take one circuit around the block. That circuit around the block is a form of meditation for me. I'm listening to the birds. I'm just being in in the moment for the duration of that walk.
Yeah, love it, love it. So that's one of the things that you do as and you called it a mantra, right? Instead of a habit. Um, I think that a lot of people have habits, right? Daily habits. Maybe the first thing they have to do is have coffee. First thing they have to do is smoke a cigarette. First thing they have to do is whatever, right? And they don't even think about it. It's especially people who are getting a cup of coffee, like, oh, they're like zombies moving through their kitchen to get the coffee, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like that, right? I don't allow my habits to control me, right? If anything, I'm very cognizant of what it is that I'm doing at the moment. Even when I put on my shoes, I said, oh, yesterday I put on my left foot, my left shoe on first on my left foot. Today I'm going to do the right, so I don't make it a habit. So I'm intentionally knowing what I'm doing. Same thing when I get in my car. I don't just get in, put it on, and drive away. I go, oh, I'm putting the key in, or depends which car I'm using, right? I'm pushing the button because I prefer putting the key in, to be honest with you. But I do have another car that you push the button. But even then, when I push the button, I'm like, oh my God, all these. And I'm grateful that everything fires up at the right time. And if I put it in reverse or forward, it actually goes. So I'm aware of every little thing. And so that's, for me, it's being in the moment, right? So
Yeah.
instead of having the habit control me, I control my situations. What are your thoughts on that?
That goes back to intention. Yeah, I am all for that. I believe that, to your point, I don't want to be dependent on things that are outs in a way kind of outside of my control. Like the more dependencies I have in my life, I feel, no, it gets in the way for me mentally. And so, yeah, I try and build the different parts of my life, like the hydration and all that stuff, with intention. And with that, and with each intention is something that I feel like has true benefit in my life, helps my health, helps me be a better husband, a better friend. And with those things in mind, I don't feel an unnatural pressure to have certain things in my life, like coffee or something like that. No judgment, but just for me personally, like growing up the way I did, I have issues with dependencies on things that could be used against me.
Mm.
So that is like, that's operating beneath the surface. Because as I'm talking about this, I think I need to bring that out, that consciously I'm thinking in terms of habits and rituals, but beneath the surface there are always stories going on in the background of our mind. And so that's playing out for me in the background of that.
Right. Absolutely. I gotta say, I met you in Philadelphia,
Yep.
and it was great meeting you in person. You're going to be at two different events that we're doing, right? You're going to be in and I'm going to bring that image up because I want to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And the image is of you being with us August 21st. Let me grab that image.
Oh, actually,
How's that?
I will not be able to do 21st.
Oh, that's right. You're not doing the 21st.
I'll be traveling that day.
Right. But you are going to be with us in September 25th, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I had the wrong image in mind. But you are going to be with us, and I'm excited for that. So consider, why did you, even before you knew me, right? You said, I need to be in this room with you guys. Why was that?
To me, the Guinness record attempt was a room of visionaries. Now, I understand that not everybody who thought, oh, let me be part of this record, it is living a life of vision and intention. But I knew there would be at least a fraction of people who are looking at the world and not just seeing opportunities for themselves, but opportunities to be part of something bigger, opportunities to serve the world in different ways. And the Guinness record is one way to get attention, to bring positive light into the world. And those are the people that I want to be in the room with.
Yeah. And Coach Theo just was able to join us as he had technical difficulties. But look at the shirt I'm wearing, brother. See that?
Congratulations, dog.
Yeah.
Wow. You should be tired today. You should be tired this morning, man.
Why is that?
And that parade, man, it looked like the energy was sucking from the whole country into New York City. It's
It
crazy,
was.
man.
I know that Lancelot actually was there. If I would have gone there, I probably would still be there.
Right,
So I,
right.
I couldn't go. I had clients and all this kind of stuff. But considering that people celebrated and we didn't hear any negativity like we heard during the games, I was happy about that. But you
Yeah,
never know, right? We don't know all the circumstances of what happened yesterday. But I'm happy that there were people there. Melanie's nephew, who's a Suffolk police officer, was there, and with his dad and everything, and the images that he shared were incredible, right?
yeah,
So it was really a beautiful time for everybody to celebrate something that we didn't play the game, but we were cheering them on, right? So
right.
when I saw this shirt, I was like, I got to pick it up. I have to pick it up, right? And so Melanie says to me, she goes, "You bought another T-shirt?" She goes, "How many T-shirts do you actually have? You have a closet full of just T-shirts." I go, "Well, I needed this one." I
Well, I think
needed this one.
part of this is, I mean, you didn't play in the game, but you're part of the community.
That's it.
That's right. That's
That's it
right.
for sure.
And there's energy that goes back and forth, both between the team and the fans and within the city. I mean, there's an exchange of energy there that is very real.
It
No
is.
doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
my best friend Sean. Shout out to Sean Kears. Ah, man, dog, it makes me emotional because when you really care about somebody, gentlemen, um, and you see the jubilee with them. Obviously he came out of the womb a Knicks fan, but he's worked for the post office in Manhattan for over 30 years.
And that's
And he
blog.
right, right. So, directly behind Madison Square Garden, his whole life for the last 30 some odd years has been leaving Brooklyn, getting on the train, getting out there. He lives in Jersey now. But for many years, just making that trek back and forth every day. And he FaceTimed me yesterday morning, and I could just hear it in his voice, man. He was like, yo, I'm VIP. We got VIP. We got a VIP spot for all the federal workers, for the firemen, police
Wow.
officers, all the federal workers. And we got like the most plush spot at the parade. And he's showing it all around, man. And just hearing the jubilee with him, gentlemen. He's like, man, it's a lot of fake fans that are popping out now because we won it. He's like, but we've known each other since we was 12 years old. I've always been a Knick fan. And so he was like, man, this is for us. Half of the guys on the team are not even from New York. This is for us, man. And I'm always giving him a hard time. I'm like, well, the Yankees already won it before, man. The Giants already won the Super Bowl, man. He's like, but that's not the same. It's been
No,
53 years, 53 years. And he's like, you've been down in Kentucky, you know what it feels like for that championship. Kentucky and Louisville, those teams have won the championship. And but that perspective really made me look at it differently. Because you think about how Cleveland felt when LeBron brought that chip back to Cleveland, and homegrown, man, that was special. I mean, Chris, you out there in Cali, from the Dodgers to the Padres to the Chargers, they've had their share, but 53 years
Yeah.
for New York City that's amazing. It is.
Yeah. Well, just to, I got to put it out there for all of us West Coast people, because you mentioned the Padres and the Chargers. So Padres are San Diego,
That's
and
right. That's right.
and yeah, LA doesn't really mess with San Diego.
That's right. I already know. Hey, I lived in Pendleton, man, Oceanside area, all that area. So it's like the barrels in New York.
Yeah,
Everybody's together now.
Right.
But traditionally, the Bronx don't mess with Brooklyn, and Brooklyn don't mess with Queens, and
Right.
that's
until there's a moment where everybody comes together. So
yeah,
Cali's the same way.
yep. And there was some feelings about when the Chargers came to Los Angeles.
Yes, I
Oh
felt
yeah.
that because
Uh,
leaving Pendleton, driving down to the Padres games, the Chargers games, man. Like Junior Seau lived right outside the Marine base, right there
Yeah,
in Oceanside. Rest in power to him. But I just remember how big that was for Marines. Marines come back on base. Man, we saw Junior Seau surfing at the beach. It was just him by himself surfing. Like that was huge. So
special guy. He really was. I mean,
yeah,
even
yeah,
though I was not a Charger fan, he was definitely one of the opponents that I had mad respect for.
yeah,
mm,
no doubt.
mm.
Yeah.
I
LA.
remember being with my ex-wife, and we would do a kung fu class and then go down to the local bar, get 50 chicken wings, which were delicious back then, and just watch the Knicks play. And it was just amazing. And it was every time, well, I trained 7 days a week, but anytime they were playing, we had chicken wings and we were enjoying it. But I got to tell you, um, growing up in New York, playing basketball myself, right? I remember I used to just sit and take the ball, spin it, put it on my finger, switch fingers, all that, and switch all the different fingers and just spin for like forever, right? Because you get so enthralled in the activity in the game. Sometimes I'll be watching the game and just dribbling in my house, right? And it was really interesting because you felt like you were part of it. And if you guys remember Reggie Miller, he used to go like this to them, right? That they used to cope,
Yeah,
right? He used to go like this to them right before the game, and that would make Ewing would be mad, right? It would be so funny. But they did choke a lot. But this time around, man, they came full circle and they brought it back home. And when Ewing was able to hold up the trophy himself,
yeah,
right, and Barkley and all these guys, and they were able to hold up the trophy and say, yeah, we didn't win it, but you youngsters did, and you brought it back to us. And
yeah,
the fact that he was able to hold it, that
yeah,
was that was pretty special, I think.
yeah. From the leadership perspective, gentlemen, it, it's a lot to reflect on. And I thought exactly about what you're saying right now, Sifu, with Pat Ewing. Obviously, he was one of my favorite players coming out of Georgetown under the legendary John Thompson. Uh, he was fit. He was fit for playing for the Knicks. But from a leadership scope, every time I think about Reggie Miller doing that,
Right.
looking over at Spike Lee, and it's like, man, you're talking about Reggie Miller though. It's like you're talking about Michael Jordan, but Jordan was that same way for Reggie Miller. Like
Mhm.
Jordan could look at Reggie Miller
And
and
be
he literally did choke Reggie Miller. He choked him out. We all seen it. They still show it to this day. And then you think about Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer, all of those guys could look at Michael Jordan once upon a time, and you can't get past us, the bad boys, Detroit. So it's so New York winning this, man. Like we were talking about on the NYC experience Tuesday, yourself and Lancelot Seafood. It's for the people. It's like a people's championship. This one is because it's like New York. reaches out and touches, you know, so many different things, not only, you know, here within America, but abroad. I mean, from the UK to the Wimbledon being played there, and you know, it's so much, man, tied into it that I look at the leadership aspect of it, man. I'm just like, you know, Tom Thibodeau, how does he feel? That's the type of things, Chris, I think about. Tom Thibodeau, how does he feel? How does you know, Van Gundy feel? How does Rick Pitino feel? All the guys that coached in that 53-year stretch that couldn't get it done because there was a Reggie Miller. And it could have been just one shot that made the difference between Pat holding up that trophy as an
Yeah.
actual player, just one shot. So
Yeah.
it's so much perspective to look at, man, with that. And
I
you
think
think
some
about
of it though, there's legacy in throughout. Like every name you mention, they are a part of that legacy. They've
yes,
made their mark. And it, in a way, it kind of comes down to, do we celebrate the people that are in the trenches, that are in the arena, that are fighting every game all season long? Do we honor them for putting in the effort, or do we honor them only when they bring home a trophy, like the new fans who just showed up, who
yeah,
probably all season long only watch the number of games that happen in the playoffs, and maybe some of those people didn't even show up until the semifinals or the finals. But there's a legacy with the people that have stood firm like throughout.
Think about one thing, right? And for the ones that just showed up, they may become lifetime fans. So let's not count them out, right? Because maybe they didn't realize, wow, look at these people. Look what
Yeah.
they've done. And that's the leadership of daily habits that they've done. Because you don't become a champion day one. There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of habits or mantras or whatever you want to call it that has to happen. For example, when Chris and I were walking towards the rocky steps, Chris and I were talking. I said, "Yeah, I'm running up the steps." He goes, "You are?" "I'm running up too." I'm like, "Good, we're doing it together." And Chris, didn't we get a bunch of other people who are not even considering it?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you guys are doing it. We're going to have to do it too," right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Jose Escobar
Couple were
being
kind of reluctant.
Yeah, Jose was not going to run up. And he's like, "Well, if you guys are doing it," he took off his jacket and he's like, "Fine, I'm doing it." And he ran up the stairs with us. And one of the things that I have to say is, like all fans, there were a bunch of people standing online waiting to take their picture with the Rocky statue. And when we were online too, but I yelled at them. I said, "Hey, if you didn't run up the stairs, get off the line."
You didn't earn this.
You didn't earn it, but I was kidding with them, right? And there was this big guy. He's like, "Come on, man." I said, "Listen, I'm kidding with you, brother." I said, "The fact that you even walked up the stairs, man, congratulations. Right? You did something. You got here." And
Right.
so a lot of times we can't count people out because they didn't do it the way we wanted them to do it, right?
That's right. That's right.
A champion is a champion no matter how they got there. Right?
Amen.
And if you're a fan and you're a brand new fan, welcome, right? If you have been a fan for your whole life, if you came out of the womb like your friend did, and you're a Knicks fan or Islander fan or Yankee fan or Dallas fan, whatever team, whatever. And here's the crazy thing. Most people become a fan of where they live. If they started as a young kid, they're a fan of where they grew up, right? And then maybe they have to move because of business or whatnot. In their heart, they're still a fan of that first team, right?
Yeah.
Even though they may be starting to root for another team. And so every time I go and hang out with Jose, he goes, you're a Commanders fan, right, Sifu? I'm like, even though I'm a Giants fan, I'm like, absolutely. Anytime I'm with you, I'm a Commanders fan, right? I do cheer them on if they're not playing the Giants, obviously. But it's about being true to your beliefs, being true to the leadership style that you have developed, because every one of us here is a leader, but
Right.
we've accomplished that differently. Coach Theo, you became a leader through your career. Christopher, you became a leader through your career. I became a leader through my career. But it's not just the career, it's what's in here.
Yeah.
And really, it comes down to what's in here. It's in your heart, and it's in your mind, it's in your actions. So your daily actions is what truly makes you a leader.
Yeah.
Every day, every
Yeah.
day, you're a leader.
Yeah. And I want
The
to bring this
question is,
back
what kind
to,
of leader are you? Right, go ahead.
Mhm.
oh yeah, I want to bring this back to a question that Kathy Salyer asked earlier on in the podcast in the chat.
It's
As far
Teddy.
as,
That's Teddy.
yeah,
He's using his wife's. So here's, I'll put the
okay,
question back up. I'll put the question back up.
right on. As far as doing Bible study on Facebook, I would say that is being meaningful, and that is being a leader, because showing up,
Yeah.
you never know who you're giving permission to just by showing up.
Yeah,
And
man.
almost always there's someone that is invisible to you that you showing up gave them permission to have a relationship with God, to do that meaningful thing for them. So yeah, I definitely, just showing up makes you a leader.
Absolutely. And your intentions to make you a leader. To me, that's how I think of it. So we are having this incredible summit August 21st, and we go all the way down the middle, all the way to Bethany Stone, who's in the center, and we go out to Lancelot, we go to Amy, we go to Michael, we go to, and then I'm going to come back, right? Because McDowell is a powerful, powerful human being, and she's going to talk to us about relationships. And then we'll go to Stephen Miller, we go to Kevin, we go to Renee, we go to Ed, and then obviously you have Coach T on one end and I'm on the other. And when we bring all of us together, it's that unity and motion of leadership, and it's unified leadership. And we're having this incredible summit, and we're encouraging you to get your ticket today.
Yes.
And here's the thing, you don't have to get your ticket. But if you want something special, if you want to understand how to be a leader and maybe get some of your questions answered in real time, make sure you get your ticket.
Man, I apologize, gentlemen. I'm getting my wood floor redone in my kitchen.
So you're
The
getting some wood in your
whole floor,
lungs.
man. And I'm fascinated by watching the gentleman do the work, because it's like putting a puzzle together, right? In the old school style of, tacking the wood planks in, and
I have all
man,
those tools, man. I told you
yeah,
I do woodworking. I know how to do it,
yes,
you know.
man. You talk about light bulb lessons. Just watching them work, it's real. And Seafood, whether you have to move the cabinets out and run the flooring under the cabinets and all, it's a lot. A lot of measuring, and it's crazy. But man, that sawdust in the morning after, bro. I probably should have put a mask on, but yeah, man. Being honest, man, Chris, meeting you up in Philly, man, it was special, bro. Like just being
Yeah,
at the table. I was
Appreciate it.
with, yeah, bro. I was with Stephen Miller last night. We went live last night. Steve Miller and Stu Maynard
nice.
talking about the same vein, leadership and just different things. But I asked those two gentlemen when was the last time you cried?
Mm.
And man, they paused for a second, and Stu Maynard was like, a couple days ago. And then Steve Miller, who's going to be joining us in August, he said, man, the last time I cried, Steve Miller's one of the Brown coat. He said, I'd have to say the Guinness Book of World Record, man.
Mm.
He was like, and paraphrasing, he just basically said, man, where I come from to achieve that milestone, he's like, man, you talk about, yeah, real emotion. And I just think about that moment, man. Uh, looking around that room when that gentleman said, today the number is, and just so I understand how those Knicks feel, man, just based off Philly.
Mm.
Just based off Philly, I felt like everything I have done in business from the moment the thought came of I'm gonna start a LLC to that moment, it was like wow, that was a victory, and be there to share that with you, Chris. It was special, man. Like straight up
Thank
and
you.
down.
Feeling
Yeah,
is mutual.
I just love how the room erupted.
yeah, yeah. That was dope. That was dope. And that celebration was right on time. That cool in the game, man. It was like that was right on time.
Celebration.
People who have not moved around like that probably in months and years, like
Cobwebs
you
started leaving, right? The
Yep.
couldn't
room lit up.
you couldn't contain it, man. And so yeah, some people just when you look at these championships, man, like it's I saw a video of a guy yesterday. He had on a Brunson jersey. He had his little boy with him, and they're walking away from the parade. And he said something came across his spirit to where he felt like he was idolizing and worshiping. He said I just felt it in my spirit. So
Mm.
we're gonna leave and we're gonna go and enjoy ourselves, maybe get some ice cream or whatnot. And I think we'll have a better time or whatnot. But it was the comments, Jim. The
Yeah.
comments, people were eating him up in those comments. It was just kind of like, wow, man. You have people's like, nah, you only left because you couldn't handle the crowd and you made it about yourself and not the players. And then it was other people that came in that was like, hey, you have to understand that from a spiritual essence. Because if you're
Mm.
in the carnal mindset, you'll never understand what that man is saying. And I understood exactly what he was saying. Because it's
Mm.
like, yeah, man, how much emphasis do we put on some of these things and almost shun ourselves type thing? Like how over the years, I'm 49, Jim. I know you guys like 22, 23, but I'm
I'm
49,
56.
right? I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding.
He wants you to feel good, Chris.
Yeah,
Good
but
at 56. I put in some time.
yes, sir. But as I've gotten older, man, like it's I don't feel the same as I did as a young man, you know, about sports in general. So I understood it. I just, what do you all think about that, gentlemen? Do you all think, based on the comments of that reasoning that he felt, he's watching this parade and he something within him felt like, man, this is idolatry. I'm worshiping. I got my son with me. Let's go. What do y'all think about that, man? I'm just curious to just hear your opinion.
I think he was living in the moment, in the moment of acknowledging his son, who matters more than anything else in life.
Yeah.
So many parents forget why they have children, and they go and still continue to do the things that they were doing when they were young, when they were single, and they
Yeah.
had no one else to consider. but he considered his son, who at the moment was the most important person in front of him.
Yeah.
And if you're going to give him slack about that, it's because you don't care about your children,
Indeed.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
I feel like he did what was right for him, and it wasn't hurting anybody else.
Mm.
Right.
There is, I honor anybody who recognized that in him and gave him the grace and space to just do what he needed to do that was best for him and his son.
Yeah.
And there will always be people who don't, who can't allow others to just do their own thing, even though it doesn't affect them. Um, I would hope that one day those people can maybe find it somehow in themselves to release that need to control how other people behave. Because I mean, down that road is just frustration, because humans will never do what you want them to do 100% of the time.
Right.
Well,
That's good.
think about the people who point fingers all the time, right? But there's three fingers pointing back at them, right? Don't
right.
judge others before you judge yourself.
That's right.
And one of the things I definitely want to bring up today, because today is a celebration, is Juneteenth, right? And I was telling you both, gentlemen, that I, when I was growing up, I never heard of Juneteenth. As a kid growing up in Jamaica, Queens, Hollis, Queens, I went to Jamaica High School. Half of my school was colored, right? Some were Spanish. There was a couple of Chinese. We had some Indian kids. All it was a melting pot, right? But it was primarily a black school, and I fit in. I fit in. I didn't feel like I was the outsider because I looked differently. I have brothers and sisters who listen. That they were incredible human beings. So I didn't even know when I was going to that high school about Juneteenth, and I don't think they knew either, right? Because it wasn't till it's not been long since it started to be celebrated. And even, people are like, what's this Juneteenth thing? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. So finally, I did the right thing and said, let me look it up. What does it mean? Why are so many people celebrating this day? And man, it really put into perspective what was an injustice, the way I see it, that slavery was abolished, but it took 2 years for them in Texas to finally be told they were free. Over 2 years. And it was, the Emancipation Proclamation, it 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 took 2 years for them to be free when they should have been free.
Yeah.
But now if we think about it, that's when I think it was in 1865, right? It was 1865. It was fully acknowledged. And to me, it should never have been, but that's not for me to say, right? I wasn't there. I had no claim to anything. All I can say is that people are still enslaving themselves sometimes because of how they act,
Yeah.
how they treat other people. So stop pointing fingers. Start helping one another. Take your fingers and lift somebody up. I don't care about their color. I look white. I'm actually Spanish. And if you saw me as a little kid, I was whiter than most white kids. I have platinum blonde hair, whitish, and blue eyes. My family, I'm Colombian, they all looked darker. They all have black hair, black eyes, darker skin, and I look like the milkman's son. So who am I to speak about this? And that's what I spoke with Coach Theo, and he goes, "Man, I know you." Yeah, but a lot of people don't know me. They don't know my heart. And the problem with people is they look at people, they look at their color, they look at their nationality, the language they speak, and they judge.
No doubt.
What if we were able to look at people's hearts? Still no judgment, but just to see people's hearts. Because
I
that's
think,
what we need to look at. Go for it,
yeah.
Chris.
Oh, I was going to say, and there's there are a lot of feelings about the trauma of being a Black person in America. And Juneteenth is just one of many examples of the erasure of Black history. And it has created an environment where if we know someone, if we know their character, it's a whole lot easier to recognize them as an ally. But we have to navigate this environment where a lot of people don't. So, I mean, there are a lot of encounters as a Black person where someone publicly puts up a particular face and then in private tells us the racist things that they actually believe. And a lot of this is based on ignorance. That, and it's because we're not taught a lot of these things. We're not taught that between 1870 and 1890, they essentially used law, state and federal, to erase what the Emancipation Proclamation gave us. A lot of people still think Jackie Robinson was the first Black person to play professional baseball. He was not, because professional baseball was actually integrated until the mid to late 1880s. Let me repeat that. It was integrated in the 1880s. So the amount of things that were rolled back between the late 1800s leading up to the necessity for the civil rights era in the 1960s has created an environment where Black people feel consistently in a state where they have to prove themselves. We have to actually learn about ourselves. We have to do this independently because we're not taught this stuff in school. And then from there to try and show the world that we are more than what we were purported to be.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. Listen, my last name is Gomez, and people look at me a little differently when they see me and I look white, they treat me okay. But if they don't know me, they haven't seen me, and they read my name, they already have a perception of me, right? Because of the last name, right? If it was Smith, it'd be different.
Yep.
But so people, you're right in the fact that they judge before knowing, right? And I just say, listen, if we were all blind, we would all treat each other so much better.
Yeah. I'm just grateful, gentlemen, that, first of all, that we're all breathing and in our right mind state. We can eat soon as we get off of this stream. We have friends galore. We're Guinness World Record holders, NBA champs. We have a lot to be grateful for,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and it is Juneteenth. And man, Chris just said it, man. It's like, bro, I think we are in the pocket, gentlemen, of individuals that understand the true meaning of real humanity. It, can you put that picture back up there one more time, Seafood, man?
Absolutely.
of August. I mean, all of
Yeah.
those faces do not look the same, bro.
Yeah.
All of those faces are not the same color. All of those faces have seen different things through the vision of their eyeballs. So, but you see that globe with all of those different symbolic renditions of where people are from, where they represent, and you see unified leadership.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful, brother Chris, Wesley, Sifu Rafael. I'm grateful that we're doing something about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people sit around and they talk and they talk and they talk. Black community talk and they talk and they talk. White community talk and they talk and they talk. Oh, boycott the Chinese because a man shot a 14-year-old kid in his back. Oh, don't shop at Target. Uh, you all over there, moolies and niggas, but in the same day you love Jalen Brunson. It,
Mm.
in the same day. I've experienced it in Kentucky. Kentucky basketball is like God in that state.
Mm.
But the same individual that puts in the application for a job that afternoon gets denied because of skin color.
Yep.
So again, when I think of Juneteenth and I think of you, my brother Sifu, bro, you are living it. You're implementing. You're in full speed action. And when you say I love you, T.O., like I really know you do. Where I can look at someone that has the same complexion as me, grew up in the same neighborhood, environment, or whatever, that truly doesn't love people. And I just think over time, by and by, we start realizing these things, and it's like, what are we doing about
Yeah.
it?
Mm.
So,
And allies are important. I mean,
yeah,
I learned about Tulsa, Oklahoma from a white person.
Mm.
right,
You
right,
know, I don't know. It is important. And I also want to mention, like, if you pull up the photo again, Sifu, please. It's not just people of different color. It's men and women.
That's
yeah,
right.
bro, yeah, bro,
Because, I also want to recognize that the same thing that happens to people based on race also happens based on gender,
gender,
Mm.
yes, sir,
and doing something about that.
yeah, that's so powerful, bro. And that's again, man, like I'm reflecting today, Juneteenth, because like I was telling you, Seafood, I didn't know about Juneteenth and what it really, really meant probably 8, 10 years ago. I didn't know what Kwanzaa meant. I got family right now that thinks that I'm in a cult and I'm crazy because me, my wife, and my two or three, my daughter's grown, but I'll include her in it as well. But they think I'm crazy because we celebrate Kwanzaa. Why? Because of lack of information.
Mm.
We judge based on what we do not know. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I mean, Juneteenth, it's near and dear. I talked about it when we were in Tampa, Seafood. That melting pot. Again, you curated a room that I believe Juneteenth stands for. Like that's what Juneteenth is not. Oh, I'm black. Screw everybody that ain't black. Like I hate you if you ain't black. That ain't Juneteenth, bro. That's not what it's about. It's truly not. Juneteenth is awareness, bro. It's awareness. It's pride. It's man, this is who we are. Like, that's what I love about New York. That's
Yeah.
what I love about Cali, LA. When I first got to California for the first time in 1998, for like the first 4 or 5 days, I saw no black people.
Really?
Literally, I thought I was in Mexico. I was like, bro, this ain't California. This is Mexico, bro. Like all the restaurants and everything it is heavily populated. But then again, as I got to be more ingrained in the culture and the environment. I was telling the gentleman working on my floor yesterday, I said, bro, you have not had a burrito until you've been to California, bro. Yeah, you have to go to California to understand real burritos. Chipotle is not it, bro. So, but
But yeah, and that's one of the things because in LA, I mean, it just depends on what part you're in.
that's right.
Um, because in you may drive through one section and like all the signage is in Chinese. Another section you'll see
Yeah,
primarily English. Another section primarily Mexican and Spanish. You know, it it just absolutely depends. I mean, it's part of the reason I love being in the area that I am in Altadena and Pasadena because we have the wilderness within walking distance where there's nothing but soil, trees, and sky. But then 15 minutes away from any food you want, from food from Argentina,
yeah,
from Colombia, from Mexico, from China, from Korea, and that access to different cultures is just so important.
it
And I
is.
actually want to mention when you talked about as far as uh, these events, I think it also reflects Juneteenth, and the speakers in these events are delivering a message of freedom,
Yeah, bro.
and they're delivering a message on how to be free. Because as quiet as it's kept, we are all struggling in different forms of freedom, whether it is trying to be recognized on your job, to have better living conditions, to be able to afford the groceries and the gas and all of those things. I mean, there are all kinds of constrictions that we face on a daily basis. And these events help arm you with the information you can use to change your circumstances.
Right. Oh man, that's powerful.
Let me share this video with you because we're also doing Atlanta. We're going to be over by Coach Teal. Take a look.
We are here in Tampa, Florida for the NYC Mastermind Experience. It was an absolutely epic weekend.
This was our fifth one, the sixth one.
Coming up in Hot Atlanta, that's right, Atlanta, Georgia, and our host, the great T.O. Clay.
Hey, you don't want to miss it. Come September, the new Hollywood of the South, ATL, baby. Make sure from NY to Tampa to Atlanta, Georgia. Can't wait to see you there. Peace.
Light up the city, yeah, we rise tonight. Every speaker bringing down in that fire, that light. No funny, no fear, just truth on the mic. It's the NYC life, we unite, light up.
That's what I'm talking about. Who's that guy anyway? Who's going to be in Tampa? Who's that guy? Good looking guy too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of biased
Yeah.
on my opinion of that.
You got to what? Do some what?
I said I'm a little biased on my opinion of that.
I don't know. I think that has to be created into a poster down by you somewhere.
Might be. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got to tell you, when you consider what we're doing and all the summits that we do, right? I am blessed that I'm able to partner up with incredible people. Coach Theo, Clay, and I, we've been in each other's world, and we were introduced, and it started slow, but man, we started adding more fuel. We're right now in a rocket, if you will. And it's an incredible journey that we're both going on, but it's delivering messages of leadership, delivering opportunity for people. Because if you look at this event here, right, that's going to be an opportunity. Listen, 7 hours of leadership, and we're only charging $47. 7 hours. Now, if you want the recording, if you want to be able to have a mastermind after the 7 hours, because we go longer, then you do the $97, and that gives you everything. You get the recordings, you get the mastermind, you get the whole deal. But when we bring people together, I've been very fortunate to be able to partner with Coach Teo, to partner up with Jose and Lancelot and Coach Teo for the Atlanta event. It's just going to be phenomenal. And the people that we bring, and you talked about creating opportunities, they're dynamic. They really are. Because people don't walk away from our events saying, "Oh yeah, that was a nice event, see you," and then forget about it.
Right.
There's people are still talking to me about Tampa. That was in February. And certain people are saying there's no way I'm not going to be there this time around.
Yeah, bro.
So they're making the effort to get their tickets, to set up their hotels, to get their transportation in order. Because no matter how you get there, it's not the traveling, it's the end result. What do you get when you arrive? What do you get when you leave? What did you consume along the way? So make sure you bring your books. And we will have this particular book for the event in Atlanta. And this book, people would say, "Hey, do you have any extras?" Because mine is already filled up, right? People want to, they continue writing in it because it's a journal. It's where you take notes. In the past, what I've done, and Coach Theo, you can recall this, we did this across the street from Madison Square Garden. I had a smaller one, a pocket one, and I told people, listen, don't just write in your book, hand it to somebody so they can write something on how they feel about you. And that started a whole transformation for people, because all of a sudden they were looking at each other and go, how do I feel about you? And it really transformed people, and they wrote some incredible messages in there, and it was pretty cool. That I still have mine, and the people that wrote in my book were special people, right? And Coach Theo, you wrote in my book, and here's the whole thing. If you can get someone to align with you and help you in your mission, why wouldn't you want to go and meet them? I didn't know Chris, but man, what a pleasure it was to meet you. And look, you're here with us now. You're going to be in Atlanta, and you're going to be on many, many different things with us. So I'm so grateful that we did get to meet in person.
Me too.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Wow, look at the time. We already went over, brothers.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's I'm just so grateful, man, for today. I'm just grateful, man. It the leadership of daily habits, man. The daily habits. This time last year, I didn't feel how I feel today. This time 2 years ago, I didn't feel how I feel today. But looking back over the last 365, the last Juneteenth, um, the implementation of proving that, man, it takes work. Faith without works is truly dead, bro. And we could sit around and we could talk and this, that, and the third, but man, it's the current, it's the frequency, it's the movement, and then it goes back to how we started, Sifu. I'm just grateful. It was so mutual, man, for us to just say
Yeah.
unified leadership, bro. We want to unify this thing. Yeah, hey, if Donald Trump wants to come on unified leadership, let's go. We're not going to change. We're gonna keep talking the same leadership. And hey, bro, how can
That's
you be a better leader, Donald? How can you be a better leader? We're all accountable. You could bring on Mike Brown from the New York Knicks. Like, did you all win the championship, Mike, because you understood De'Aaron Fox's tendencies because you used to coach him in Sacramento? So many different reasonings as to why. So,
You know who we have to bring in? Jalen.
yeah, I think he would do it, man. If I see him, because again, man,
If he
I
listens, if he catches this anytime, he's always welcome, right? Any Nick player any
Yes.
past Nick player, anybody who's ever been. Oh, by the way, before I go, I want to let
Yeah.
you know I worked with a young lady when I was doing interior design architecture in Manhattan on 40th Street, and this young lady, her dad owned the Knicks at the time.
Wow. That's huge.
Her dad owned the Knicks at the time. They lived in this huge penthouse in New York City, and I used to go there every so often. The guy he was in a wheelchair, but the way he made his money is he's the one that designed the machines that do this, right? What is that? Casinos.
Yeah.
He was the one implementing them and fixing them and doing all these different things. And that's how he made his money, and that's how he bought the Knicks. But then he sold them later on, right? But it was pretty interesting. So fun stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. That's real,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, bro.
Let's do
Man.
this thing, man. Let's do this. People, you need to join us in 2 places. August 21st, Unified Leadership, and Atlanta, New York City Mastermind Experience, nycmastermindexperience.com. Check it out. Join us. You're going to get to meet Chris in person in Atlanta. And the food, I am already getting hungry for it, right? I am ready to eat some incredible food with my brothers right here, with Coach Theo Clay, with Christopher, and some others who are going to be there. Jose, Lancelot, and we have others. Leon bought a ticket. We have so many different people. And when Leon said she was buying her ticket, she actually did it the same day. But we've got a lot of people who say, I'm buying my ticket, and yet, cricket. They haven't done it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take action, people. Take
That's
action.
right. That's right.
Yep.
It's worthy. It's definitely worthy, man. If you miss it, hey, just
Leadership
like
habits. Leadership
don't-
habits.
Yeah,
If you're going to be a leader, stick to what you say.
that's right.
All right, guys. God bless
Amen.
you both.
All right. You too.
Love you.
Take care.
See you soon, Chris.
Right on,
Yeah.
man. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
brother.
Unified leadership. Let's move. Let's lead. Let's ride. Unified leadership. Like the flame, turn it up loud.